Hi, this is Raj from Sportscars. In this episode of Diary of a Porsche Specialist, I'm going to talk about the differences between the Porsche 911 997 Gen 2 convertible, which I've got here, and the 997 Gen 2 Targa, which I've got here, in a slightly modified spec in terms of some of the colours and things, but basically they are both factory original in terms of their actual equipment fitted to them. They both have the red leather. This one's finished in Arctic silver, this one's finished in Carrara white. Now, this is a 2S, so a Carrera S. They both have the same engine, 3.8 litre flat six with the PDK box. But this one's a narrow body because it's the two-wheel drive. You can tell that there's a narrower sort of step on the bumper and the light there compared to on this Targa. There's quite a pronounced lip there. They're actually based on the same structure, the same body. Obviously there's a bit of modification at the back for the convertible roof, but it's essentially they take the basis of the wide body of this one to build the Targa 4S there. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the roof on this one. So you can actually, that's one of the things, you can operate it with the key. They both have the same key, and it has the same three buttons: unlock and lock, front boot access, and then this third button does different things on both. So I'll show you that. First of all, on the convertible, so if you hold it down, it will open the roof. So there we go, roof is down. It's got the extended red leather, just like the Targa. It has the two-way, what they're called the comfort seats. But they have got, as well as seat heating, they've got seat ventilation. So they have extra holes on the bolsters, as well as the perforated middle sections on the bottom and on the back. So they are ventilated. There's an extra button there, which you can see. It's that one there, which basically sends air through the little holes, keeps you cool. You can actually have that running with the seat heating running, so it actually keeps it just, there's no dampness at all. If you're on a really hot, sticky day, it just is such a lovely place to be. That car also has steering wheel heating as well. Now on this car, that same button has a different purpose. It's to basically lift this very special, unique to the Targa 4S hatch. And there you can see, this car has a very different spec. So it has extended red leather, has the same steering wheel, but it doesn't have steering wheel heating like the other one, but it's been retrimmed in Alcantara. It's got the PDK box, it's got the silver center console, which was optional. It's got silver air conditioning bits, and as well as an aftermarket head unit. But the seats are the 18-way adaptive hardback sports seats, which were spec from the factory in Carrara white on their backs. So it has full electric control, including moving the bolsters inside and out there. Just heated seats. So this is what the other seats would look like if they didn't have the ventilated seats. There's no holes on these side bits or on this bit at the bottom, and there's perforated hole, but they're not as big or as prevalent on these parts of the seat either. Boss headrests, which the other one had as well, and you can see that extra button is missing, so it has just the heated buttons for both. This one has an optional PDK selection aluminium, as well as the handbrake as well. But this is the great part of this car for me, because you get access into this whole area. So obviously this area is taken up by the roof mechanism in the convertible. This car doesn't have Bose, but even if it did, it wouldn't have the subwoofer which you find in the coupe there. It would actually have it down in the footwell on the passenger side, and I'll show you that in the convertible, because that convertible does have Bose. And then these seats fold down, so you've got quite a lot of space in there when that's all down and both seats are down. And this is soft close. Someone commented on one of my earlier videos saying it isn't soft close, it's gravity fed, it doesn't have a motor. Well, there is the mechanism there, and there, that's what it goes into. So literally you just have to let it drop, and I'll let you hear the mechanism there. So that actually shuts it. You don't have to slam, you can't slam that down. Then to get the roof working, I think I'll turn it, I don't have to turn it on actually, so let me just do it without it turned on, but you can, you need all the lights on the dash, and then you use this button here. So you have an electric blind. Let me do that first. You have an electric blind. If it ever got too sunny in the UK, which very rarely does it, I don't think you'd ever need that, but that's all operated on that button there. And then to lower the roof, you press the other button away from you and it drops it down. It should be a smooth operation. So there is the opening, fully lit. It obviously drops into the car, so it does take up a little bit of the headroom of the rear passengers. I'll just show you that when it's down, because obviously it's now inside that rear screen, and you can't now operate that rear hatch. The button doesn't work. I've just opened up the engine bay by mistake. So there we go. So that's what it looks like with it open. It does, funny enough, when you're looking through the rear view mirror, I'm not sure whether you'll see, it makes the rear view very dark because you're now looking through two bits of glazed glass. So that's one of the issues to bear in mind when you've got the Targa, is that rear view mirror becomes very difficult to look through, whereas obviously in the convertible you have no such issue, because with the roof down you've got a clear uninterrupted view out behind. So that's essentially the same steering wheel, but the other one was retrimmed in Alcantara. This one is obviously the standard, well, standard but optional, factory optional red leather, extended leather, and that has this one has an additional switch here for the steering wheel heating. So when I press that button, it comes up with steering wheel heating, and likewise when you press the heated seats, let me get it started actually. So that's your heated seats. That's a two-stage system. The ventilated seats can be operated at the same time, and they have a blue light, and there's three stage on that, and you just feel the holes are a bit bigger in here and also along here. You actually have the fan inlet here, so it's pulling in air through, or letting air out through this area here is where air's coming in or out. That's an extra little bit at the back of the seat, and you can actually feel it coming through the seat, which is brilliant. It's such a great feature. The rest of the leather would look like this if it wasn't the cooled seats. All of this bit here, really nice feature. Now the other thing I actually wanted to point out, so the disadvantages for the Targa are, it obviously doesn't fully open like this one. Also the rear glass, when it's down, you can't really use that rear view mirror in the middle of the windscreen. You have to use the side mirrors, because it sort of obscures the view a bit out back, which obviously this convertible doesn't have. But the other the one disadvantage for the convertible, I would say, compared to the Targa, is these rear seats. Now, because of all of the mechanism for controlling that roof behind here, they had to push the seat backs to be vertical. So that is a 90 degree, actually it might be slightly leaning forwards compared to the seats in the coupe and the Targa. So if you take a note of that, and then I'll go and show you, let me just turn this off. I'll show you the same thing in the Targa. It's a much more comfortable seating angle for the rear seats. Let me put the roof up actually, let me do that. And then I'll show you through the rear hatch. You can see that they're at a much more comfortable, I guess it's about an 80 degree, maybe 85, but it's not vertical like it is in the convertible. So that's the roof up, and let me do the rear hatch. So if I look at it here, that's probably the most, so the angle is sort of like slightly like that. If I'm representing it with my hand, it's slight. So it's much more comfortable sitting in the back there, albeit with the restricted roof access when the Targa roof is down. It's very hard for anyone other than like a small child up to maybe 10, 12 to fit comfortably in the back for any period of time. I've been in the back for a few test drives when I've test drove a couple, and it does get quite uncomfortable after about 15-20 minutes. So that's something to bear in mind, and it will be worse, I think, in the convertible because of how they've sort of scooched up the rear seat backs to sort of make way for the roof mechanism. The roof mechanism on the convertibles works up to around 40 miles an hour on the move, so it can go up or down. I would say to be safe, just sort of stick to around 30 miles an hour, putting it up or down. So it means you can comfortably, while in moving traffic, put the roof up, put the roof down, whatever you like. On the Targa, I don't think it's speed limited, but realistically, it's probably around 70, 80 miles an hour, and you can operate that roof. So those are the key sort of differences between the two. I just wanted to do this video because both have the same red leather, so you can see the features. The one actually other thing I wanted to show you is if a car, a Targa or a convertible has bows, instead of having a rear section behind the rear seats with the subwoofer, it's actually down here. So there you can see it. It's actually, that section there is the Bose subwoofer. This extra bit of carpet. If that's not there, then you have quite an easy, a wider footwell, which I'll show you in this car. So there we go. So it's good to compare and contrast the two. Likewise, having a contrasting colour carpet, in this case, this one's obviously got red, but having the contrast of black carpets in the red interior makes a difference to how it looks overall. I think it sort of breaks it up. It would have also been nice to have a two-tone leather, so black top of the dash, black top of these doors, I think, to break it up. But yeah, it is a great interior. If you love colours other than black, then sort of red is a great choice. Other just very simple differences between the two, other than obviously the aftermarket stuff, is the headlight. So that's the standard bi-xenon headlight fitted to the Targa. So it has this sort of like bezel here, and then it has your, I think it's the main beam down at the bottom there, like your full beam. But this one is very different, as you can see. These are the PDLS Porsche dynamic lighting system, which is dynamic cornering light. So this bezel rotates as you go around corners, and it's speed dependent. So it will rotate more at higher speeds, I believe. Yeah, that's it. So it's more sensitive at high speeds than low speeds, just manoeuvring around. So they're the sort of key differences between the convertible and the Targa 4S. If you have any questions about these cars and features, or anything else about 997 Gen 2s in particular, please don't hesitate to get in touch by commenting below or just sending me an email. Thanks for watching this video.